So on top of that too, we've been talking about what's been happening in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the real world where, the Squiddies are coming. And they're on the ship. EMP is charged, electromagnetic pulse is charged.
Right.
That's going to kill every electronic thing in the radius. And they're in the ship.
Right. And that means since Neo is out there plugged in still, if they hit that pulse and knock everything out, he's going to be disconnected and dead.
And he's going to die. And it's like, wait, we have to wait. We can't do this yet. And in the belief that regardless that this man is still the one, and we have to risk it. Because we could have been pulled it.
Right.
But he's still in there. He needs that exit.
Right.
We could have been pulled it. Yeah.
Right.
And so when she starts talking to him.
Wait. So he got like 2 or 3 shots at first, and he's still up. He gets shot some more, and he backs up and hits the wall, and he's still getting, and then Agent Smith is just unloading on him.
Yeah, he
just keeps shooting him.
Unleashes the magazine.
Because for a while there, he was still standing up after he got shot all those times. He was still up for a while. He got unloaded on, and he ended up dying. And then everybody's like,
everybody's
what does this mean? Like, what does this mean?
He flatlined.
Yeah.
He flatlined. The one has flatlined.
Yeah.
And then Morpheus is just in a state of shock.
Yeah.
But that's the deal. So Morpheus doesn't, even though Morpheus knows, what the one is capable of,
right? He
doesn't fully understand how the one comes to be.
Right.
Remember, he said there was a man who unplugged him, who set him free, but he never really fully knew how he came to be. So yes, and then the circumvent back to the Oracle, who says, "I don't know what you're waiting on. Maybe the next life." I was like, "Woo!" So he died. You're like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute. We've been watching them tell this man this whole 2 hours that he's about to be the one, and they just killed him. Like, come on, this ain't right.
Right.
This ain't right.
Right.
This something is not right here. And to see Trinity just talk to him and then kiss him,
express her love to him,
life into him. You know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, that's powerful on a whole nother level, because, that's that true intimacy piece where it's like, for me to confess my love and tell you, be open, be vulnerable, and to use my force. Because again, I keep telling people, Trinity is one of the most badass chicks in film history, because she's like unafraid.
Mm-hmm.
She's never shown fear, you know what I'm saying? Until number 3 at the end. But she's never really shown fear. And so for her to just be open to tell him I love you, she breathes life into him, and then she says, now get up. Ooh. Yeah. a lot of people don't know, man. Sometimes it takes, for that strong man or whatever, it takes his woman to breathe that life into him, give him that passion, give him that fire. Yeah, of course you can already have that stuff, but sometimes you might lose it. Sometimes you might, be down or whatever. And it takes that special woman to come in, your woman to come in and breathe that life back into you.
Yeah.
And she did.
Man.
Brought him back to life.
Man, that was incredible when he got up. Whew. And then
he just looked.
Right, huh?
Wait a minute.
And they had the nerve, all 3 of them tried to unload on him.
And he says,
and then he says no. And then those bullets just slow down.
Puts the arm around and stops him. And everything that Morpheus had told him at that point,
it comes to a stop.
He's like, remember when you said that conversation? He's like, so what are you trying to tell me, Morpheus? That
I can dodge bullets? Yeah.
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready,
you won't have to. Yes. You won't have to.
And that's just where he was at. When you're ready, you won't have to.
And he didn't have to.
When he slowed him down and stopped him.
Yeah.
And then he picked the one out of the group, looked at it, dropped it, and then just
tilted his head. And they just dropped. Oh man.
And then, Agent Smith runs up to him and tries to fight him, Neo did not move. He stood right there. And at first, it was crazy because Neo was doing the two hands, and then he like started having this realization he didn't even need two hands anymore. Fighting with the one.
Yeah. He was looking at his nails and stuff. And
he's like just fighting with the one, and then did that super kick.
Right.
And then did the run and jumped into Agent Smith. Yes. And destroyed him.
Man.
And then so here was the craziest part though. So after he destroys him, he's like affecting the Matrix around him. He takes a deep breath that kind of releases.
He flexes.
Yeah, he flexes, right? And then he looks up at the other two agents, and they run off.
He bit the Matrix. He didn't bend the spoon. He bit the Matrix. He bit the Matrix. He bit the world. Yes. You run.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
You run.
And they knew to run too. That was the funniest thing.
The ultimate spoon. He bit the world.
Wait a minute. If he did that to him, imagine what he can do to us. Like,
right. He's the best of us, and he got taken out. So. Right. But another thing too that was cool too, like you said, like he had died, and then Trinity, professed her love and kissed him, told him to get up, and he got up, and he woke up to see with new eyes. He saw truth. He saw truth. Mm-hmm. And the truth had to be shocking because it was just nothing but lights and numbers and the
Matrix.
In the Matrix,
the code.
He saw the truth. The code. That's it. The truth. He saw the truth of it. So he had brand new eyes to see things for what they were. So he woke up seeing truth. Yeah. And that was just a powerful thing. Like he would never be the same. He can't even feel intimidated or feel ways about things when he knows what it was made of. There's no fear. I see you for who you are.
Yeah.
I can treat you different. I can read that.
Totally accepted that it's a computer generated program.
Right.
I see these codes.
I know this now. It's not foreign language. I don't have to be afraid of it. I know for you to get here from there to here, I know what those steps are.
Yeah.
He had the key. He had the key. Oh man, that movie's powerful.
He gets out, he gets the exit, they hit the EMP.
Yeah.
They have the kiss in the real world, and the ending though, where he picks up the phone. So you see the Matrix, and then you hear his voice. You hear him start talking, and he's not even calling anybody in particular. He's just talking because he knows they're going to trace him.
Right.
They have the trace. He's like, I'm not hiding anymore. Right. I'm gonna show these people what you don't want them to see.
Right.
I'm gonna show these people that they have a choice. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, where we go from there is a choice that I leave to you. I was like, ooh, and then hung up the phone and walked out the phone booth
and pulled the Superman
and looked up when I remember seeing that when I was like back in '99, and I was like, he looks up and I'm like, oh, what is he about to do? And then looks at the camera. He looks up and then looks back at the camera. And then they just show this aerial view. And I was like, oh, that's the end of the movie? Like, that's weird. And you see, well, actually, you hear.
You hear the jacket.
The takeoff.
Yeah, you hear the jacket and
you hear it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you see it.
Sweeps across the screen. I'm like,
ooh,
whoa, that's crazy. And then they play Rage Against the Machine. Oh. Oh. Rage Against the Machine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. That movie on so many levels, man. I went to see that with my mama 4 times. She loved it. That movie was an experience. Like you just took people that you respected, that you thought highly of. Like, hey man, you gotta get in on this good deal, man. You gotta come check out this Matrix. You gotta. If you ain't seen it, let me bring you in. But what is so funny to me is that there were so many people, and still people to this day, that just don't get the movie, and I don't understand, because it seemed like it was just so broken out so clearly. I'm shocked that there's people that actually like they were confused and don't get it. It throws me off, man. Like I'm always shocked when I hear that. Like I didn't understand what's going on. That man, they were this, and then this happened, and I didn't get it.
I think at some point too, like your mind has to be opened to be able to accept what the story is and what it can be. And so if you're not at that point, and one, if you're that type of person that's just like a movie goer, right? Like you're just a movie goer. Like I just like to see the lights and the explosions and the blah, blah, blah. I don't like to read between the lines. I don't like when I'm doing this analytical piece, like we're watching this King Kong and King Kong saves this white girl all the time, or, you know, and all these people of color, but they was white, they was in blackface, like all that kind of stuff. If you're not that person that likes to see all that, or if you're just not that person that does it, you are simply a moviegoer. I don't know if you want to see that, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, to take it to the next level, to even start to believe in this could potentially be real, then there's that cognitive dissonance piece where you are telling yourself, no, this is not real, because you don't want to accept that it can be, because that would shatter the very like fabric of reality that you've been conditioned to be in for your whole entire life. You got people 40, 50, 60 years old that have seen it this way, and to even potentially think of it like this is reality shattering for them. So it's just better to just not, you know. That movie was, you know, it was just a great movie. You know what I'm saying? I love the way they did the back, you know, all, and that was just it. You know, so
I was trying to be funny, but racism.
Oh, yes, very much so. Systematic.
I agree exactly what you're saying. I had to throw that in there because I think that's the logic for that too. Like you said, that's definitely well put. And to be honest, to me, it's like one of my favorite movies, and to me, it's almost damn near a perfect movie. And I always wonder, like, what if Will Smith would have did that? I don't think the world would have been ready for all that going on with a black lead. I don't think they'd be ready. just imagine the power and the reach and the, you know, the massive things that Black Panther did, mixed in with the Matrix and that side of it too. It'd have been too soon.
Mm-hmm.
It'd have been too soon, you know?
I don't think they were ready for, you know, I mean, we were just getting off the heels of Amistad.
Right.
You know, so to go from, you know, Amistad to, wait a minute, you're saying that Will Smith or a black man is figuratively the Jesus that we, you know, this Messiah person that's going to save everybody?
Just for, you know, conversation. What if, and not even necessarily Will Smith, what if Neo's character was a black person like they intended? Do you think that would have changed anything? The story probably would have been the same, but do you think it would have changed how it was, how people felt about it? Do you think that it would have changed society in a way to see that kind of a character in that kind of a situation? Or
I think it would have needed to been Will Smith, because nobody at that time had like that Will Smith kind of stardom where he was, you know, black people loved him because he was black, but white people loved him because he was like, you know, wholesome black, right? I mean, he's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was doing Bad Boys, so, you know, he can walk in both lights. So I think it would have had to been someone like a Will Smith to play that role, so it'd be good. But if it was a black person, I don't know if it would have been received as much. Particularly where because you already had Morpheus and then you had the Oracle. I don't know if it would have been good to be Will Smith, because then it might have been looked as a black film, you know, and so that might have changed things too, because you know, it's a black film. So
they were saying if they would have made Neo Will Smith, then they were thinking about somebody like Val Kilmer for Morpheus. They would have changed Morpheus.
Yeah, right, and that would have been better, because then it wouldn't have been a black film, like, you know what I'm saying? Or I should say, I'm saying for marketing pieces. Or
no, I understand. No.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with black films at all.
Right. So, you know, I mean, it would have had to been like that for that piece. But I think ultimately, like, I think Keanu Reeves did great. You know,
he did.
And that was really in particular when everybody really just saw Keanu Reeves as a white person, not as an Amerasian. Honestly, like, you know, now he's like more so in touch with his Amerasian side. I mean, with his Asian folk, you know, side too, and he's been in a lot more, you know, Asian movies. Mm-hmm. So it works even better for him. But back then he was strictly white, you know, and so I think that worked out great for him.
And the fact, even also too, for that role, he was very unassuming. Like I said, if he was known as an action star, then, you know, like if he was John Wick playing Neo, then it'd be like, oh yeah, I expect it. Right. Since it was, like I said, since it was somebody unassuming that you know, surfer dude, and kind of, you know, for him to kind of do all that stuff was kind of like, wow. And I think that my only issue with Will Smith would have been the fact that I would expect him to be able to win. I don't see him as being humble enough or being a person who wouldn't have believed in himself. Even though in real life he might not have, but you need somebody that you believe don't believe themselves. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're Keanu Reeves. I don't believe you either. Right. Until you kind of go through the journey and like, you know, so for a movie like that, I think it would have been great for either somebody like Keanu or an unknown person, just because you would need to not have the extra swag in there too. You kind of need it not there so you could go the journey versus just knowing, hey, this person got it already.
I think you would have needed either like a person like that if they were white, or you would need a Will Smith to play it if he was black.
No, I know, and you said why, so I understand.
Yeah. Like I mean, if it was black, but I mean, no, they I think they did that film perfectly. I don't think The Matrix could have been any better. Yeah. As far as like casting, I mean, it was just, I mean, Agent Smith was just perfect. I mean, for him to be, you know, Agent Smith. I mean, and that Agent Smith led him to be. I mean, Agent Smith was in like 3 of the biggest trilogies like of all time: the Matrix trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then he did the voice for Megatron in all of the Transformers except for the one with the dinosaurs, because that was like a different type of Megatron or something. Okay. But anyway, I mean, I just think it couldn't have been any better. I mean,
yeah, man. I watched that movie. I never fast forwarded. I still get caught up on the same parts and stuff. It's just a well done movie, and I just really appreciate it. I'm glad I saw it when I saw it. I'm glad that, you know, because sometimes I'll be feeling like you see certain things, like you miss your opportunity to see it. Because sometimes you need to see it at a certain time for it to resonate with you correctly. And, and I'm like, you know, because I got like Star Wars and stuff. I didn't see it in the theater, so it will never be the same for me as it was for the person who was at the right age and saw it in the theater. And I'm so glad I saw The Matrix when I did, at the age I did, because I kind of needed it in a way. And you know, I showed it to my daughter, and she enjoys it because I enjoy it, and she gets it, and I like to share movies with her. I know it's not going to be exactly the same, so I just be hoping I catch certain movies when it was the moment for them, so I could really just get the full breath of them, because sometimes you need the timing is important too. Mm-hmm. So it's a gem of a movie. Definitely a gem of a movie.
I think, you know, we would probably have to section off and do we would probably need to do like a 2 and 3 in its own conversation, 2 and 3 together. And then I also think that and in that as well, to do an Animatrix conversation too, because all of the context that came about in that film, just the Revolution one. I mean, I mean, but you know, and then again, you know, so because we're talking about this first one, and they go back to the lady who wrote the story, you know, she wrote, her stories spawned the Matrix and the Terminator. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, and all those are connected. So it's, and those, you know, they're all connected. So it was weird because Will Smith didn't star in the Matrix, but then he stars in iRobot, which is basically the beginning of the Matrix. Yeah, that's how literally the Matrix started. And so you see a little bit of that in the Animatrix too. So probably need to, you know, we'd have to touch base on that one too. It's like, whoa, like that's his own conversation too, you know.
For sure, for sure. Just because it is a lot going on in that, and it's very interesting how stuff goes. Very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting how stuff goes. But yeah, for sure, I definitely would enjoy a conversation like that with her, because I thought that was it's a lot with that, and it's just But I think
we would need to do one on 2 and 3, and the Animatrix, and just the context of how, because remember you got the Matrix, which is just perfect film, and then you got 2 and 3 and the animatrix that add context to why we're even, you know, how all this even came to be and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the before and after part, right? That adds the context. So we would need to do those two. We could do the before and the after on those. Like, I mean, that could take up hours just on that end too. Like,
yeah, I think that would be dope because, like I said, it's so funny that the movie was as good and as full as it was, considering it is kind of like a middle movie, even though it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to see those other movies and tie-ins that kind of, I guess, fills it out. Yeah, that'd be definitely a good conversation because it connects very well. Like I said, they did a lot for a little movie like that.
Mm-hmm.
It accomplished so much. Like, yeah, because usually you get one or the other. You get the good story and the bad special effects, or the bad special effects, good story, or it's too smart for its own good and you can't understand it. It's, you know, it's just like, it added so much. It did so much. In a way, the viewer was Neo as well. It was almost giving you a journey of a potential reality that you never knew about. Like I said, it just really, in a lot of ways, it just made sense. It brought context to many things. It was really something, and I'm glad I saw that movie. I'm glad I had that movie to share and to revisit, and I'm glad that, you know, people saw that and it changed them in a way as well. It doesn't happen enough. So when it does happen, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And you really respect and appreciate being a part of that. Well, I appreciate our conversation, man. Is anything else you would like to leave on? You know, just check the movie out again. Look at it with like an open mind and just, you know, take in all of the little subtleties, the symbolism, the allegory, just everything that you wouldn't think is something. It is something, you know, from the character names, Agent Smith, like the most random name, but, you know, you got so many Agent Smith, you know, just all those little key little, you know, details means something. And so I just would say, just watch it again, enjoy it, embrace it, and just enjoy the ride that it's going to take you on, and the ride that it can take you on when you actually start talking about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I guess what he said, you know, I can't, you know, I couldn't put it better. Like I said, I like to say, like, I appreciate this conversation with you. It's been a long time coming. Appreciate you as a friend and a movie enthusiast, you know, and your insight and everything, man. I really dig our conversations. Till next time, peace. Peace.